Hurrah to Senator Cantwell. She really let RFK Jr. have it for his ineptitude, his his conspiracist self. I want you to listen to this, and then we'll take it on the other side.
I represent one of the most science-based states in the country. That is percentage of scientists per capita. And at your confirmation hearing, we asked about this, whether you would follow science. You've made a statement here today in your testimony that you would follow science, and yet you're not following science, and that's what Senator Cassidy's question was. It's a simple yes or no answer. Do you think the president deserves to get a prize for warp speed in the mRNA technology that saved so many lives? And you won't answer that question.
I answered it.
No, you're saying that there are problems with what was interpreted. You could say yes. Do you say yes?
I said the president also deserves a Nobel Prize, but our mRNA vaccines that we're working on, the ones that we canceled, which are for upper respiratory infections alone,
you canceled $500 million of research because the mRNA technology is about continuing the research to be ready for the next flu, influenza, the next pandemic, and you have to do the research.
I'm happy to have a detailed discussion with you about it. You're so wrong on your facts.
You're interrupting me, and sir, you're a charlatan. That's what you are. You're the ones who conflate chronic disease with the need for vaccines. The history on vaccines is very clear. This is the 20th century. That's how many people had vaccines and had illnesses. This is the 21st century. This is the decrease, 99% down to 100%. This is what was delivered with vaccines, and you don't want to support that. You don't want to support that evidence. So yes, the governors of the West, Washington, Oregon, and California, will take up the efficacy of science. Yes, the University of Washington will deliver the science that America will depend on, because you don't want to depend on it. And his own Surgeon General of the Trump administration said over 2 million lives were saved because of the mRNA technology, and you don't want to continue that. You don't want to continue that technology. So what country is going to now take up that technology lead? What country is going to do that? Leaving us more vulnerable to some other country, keeping the advantage on having the best technology. So I'm telling you, I represent a state that's about technology. I have two other quick questions for you.
These questions or statements? Because I can answer that question if it's actually a question.
Do you believe in having the ACA and the support for the ACA that is about to expire? Do you believe in doing something about that?
In terms of the enhanced premium tax credits?
Yes.
The Democrats had two chances to make them permanent, and they didn't. And they didn't for a reason.
We're the ones who delivered it. So I'm just asking yes or no, do you want to do something about this? Yes.
I want to fix the system, and that's what we're doing, fixing systematically to make premiums lower. That's what President Trump wants.
Do you think what I'm saying is you are perpetrating hoaxes? You, as this Secretary of Health. So you're undermining the whole healthcare delivery system, and you keep trying to point to chronic disease, but you're not putting solutions on the table to cover more Americans, and you're taking away the science and technology that has made us the leader that has saved, according to the first Trump administration Surgeon General, millions of lives, and you don't want to keep that going. So no, I don't support your continued efforts as Secretary, and I definitely think that our colleagues need to rally around science. If you want the Northwest to continue to lead on all innovation and all healthy people, okay, we'll do that. But it's a sad statement for the rest of America and America's leadership on technology.
This is how you handle the likes of RFK. Unfortunately, when you don't have the power to really force the president to make the changes necessary for the country, it's going to be all words for now. But I tell you one thing, folks, when Americans start dying from measles again, when they start dying from polio again, when they start dying from all these diseases that we used to have control over, when the blue states start to enforce having vaccines while the red states play games like Florida, no longer having to have students in schools not having to abide by vaccine laws, we're going to really have a separation in this country based on where you live or how much money you have. If you're in a red state and have money, I guarantee you, those red states' children from the rich, they'll have their vaccines. Those red state students that need to get taken care of, they'll be cared for because their parents will be afforded what's necessary to give them vaccine. But as usual, it's the poor, it's the MAGA folks, all of those folks that are believing all the fallacies about vaccines, all the fallacies about economics, all these things that are dumbifying these people. It's going to kill them. It's going to make them sicker. It's going to make them more dependent. Look, red states are the most dependent states there are. They're the poorer states. They're the states that are sicker. They're the states that are less educated. These states are they're the most polluted. These states are in dire straits. And their Führer, along with the people he hires, is going to do things that are going to affect them even more. Sometimes you wonder, let it happen. Let it happen, right? Many of us in the progressive, not many, some of us in the progressive space have said, you know what? Let Darwin's theory come into effect. Survival of the fittest. Watch them die out faster than the rest of the population. But if you are who we are, progressives that believe in humanity, we can't do that. It may pain us to want to assist. It may pain us to keep trying to bring the horse to the well, to bring the pig to the water, to bring the cows to the drink. We got to do it. We got to do it because we are not them. While they don't mind harming, while they don't mind the having folks die, you know who does? We do. We do. So we keep on fighting and we keep on pressing on.
All of our country's problems, from polarization to ignorance on domestic and international issues to a complete misunderstanding of our economic and healthcare systems, are a direct result of a derelict mainstream media that too often bend over backwards to support corporate or bought politicians' wants as opposed to the people's needs for real information to make their lives better. Independent media is the only solution to inform truthfully and factually. Why? Because our loyalties are to you, the ones who fund us with small dollar contributions and subscriptions. Please consider supporting our independent media platforms by subscribing to our Egberto Off the Record newsletter at politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. Again, that is politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. It's an investment that pays incalculable dividends.